Welcome back to Big Board. Let's do a quick little whip around on, I don't know if I did a video on the 9am 10 turn or not. It's all a bit of a blur. A lot of moving pieces for a simple game here with Eylau 1807. So let's try and do a quick overview, summary of what's going on, because it's pretty interesting, and I really need to get the NES game rules read and play it and compare the two. Clearly very different systems, just without any commentary or detailed read of the rules at all, because we all know that's built on the Wellington's victory system. So 9am, 10am in Eylau here, there was an incursion by the Russians with that 8th division or 2nd division there, and then they were ejected by the French, the 3rd division here, pushed them out, but then 8th division rolled up behind them, and they have now secured a hex here inside of Eylau. So it's a seesaw, back and forth little thing. Snow last turn, was it last turn? Yeah, yes, at the 10am turn, and 11am will also be snow. And we've got, the Russians had elected to press up here and try and cut off any flanking maneuvers here. Although it's probably a wasted effort. I probably should put attack orders on here and just try and punch in here so that these guys can't filter off this way a little bit, because we're making dents in the French, but not fast enough. And all these guys that are cocked this way, this way here, all these are dudes that have retreated. They just got their asses handed to them, a bunch of really good rolling, and good odds too for the French. Now, the 1st Division from 7th Corps was attacked by, where are these guys? Elements of the 3rd Division. They pushed up on the ridge, looking to try and pick up the 5 VPs or AFPs from the cemetery location. They failed to do that. They did force a couple of retreats, but these guys rallied up, came back into the fight, and have now really taken it to them. Not picked up a lot of VPs for that, but really made a bit of a mess of the entire 3rd Division, just in terms of quality. Some of these guys, that's down to 6. There's dudes under here that are in trouble. A bit of a mess. Down in the south, mistake on my part by the Russians. I pushed Bagavoo too far forward, too soon, and then of course these 2 divisions from the 3rd Corps came in behind and just had a field day with them and pushed them all back and made them retreat, and they lost a bunch of units, maybe 4 regiments. So it got ugly early. This guy, I'm not even sure what to do with this dude. He's kind of floating around there by himself. He's got to try and get back in command, number 1. Number 2, he has to, every time he goes through an adjacent hex, he's got to, roll the stand or lose a step or something. I would have to look the rule up. So I've just kind of left him there. We picked up, as the French, Serpalin here. That's 5 AFPs, Army Fatigue Points. And, the Russians have fallen back because it's mostly cavalry here, and they don't necessarily want to engage at the moment. Anytime they get kind of close, the French drop into square at key locations. The rest of the time, I'd be keen to see what happens. These Cossacks won't attack front on, so they're pretty useless. Actually, these aren't Cossacks, but these guys here are Cossacks, I believe. I'd have to check the chart again. I may be mixing these two up. Hussars back here, and these are chasseurs, I believe, these guys here. So look, interesting here. I forgot, I brought 3rd Division on a little late, so I just gave them 1 move and pulled AFP off the board and let them have 1 move. The Cav have regrouped here. I'm waiting to get some orders going here for these guys to decide what to do. Seriously considering advancing with these chaps, but I might wait and let this play out a little bit more and see what evolves. The Russians are looking to counter that activity by bringing the 7th Division all the way across the map in Stratmo, and looking to get into the fight over here to support the left-wing cavalry of the Russians. There's one aspect of this game that I'm struggling with a little bit, and I'll just put the camera down here for a sec. So in these towns, particularly these multi-hex towns, the way I'm currently reading the rules, if any one hex is lost, you lose the VPs for the town. And the way that works is you take the 15 points from this army, put it over in this army. So this has gone backwards and forwards at least once, and is now residing with the Russians because they have one unit in the town. And because it seems to me that control is not really clearly defined. I'm not exactly sure what that means. There's almost like there's a lack of control here. It's contested. I would call this contested. And I would think I would want more than one hex to be controlled, maybe half the hexes or something. I don't know. Someone smarter than me needs to work that out. But it just, you know, it kind of means I can, as the Russians, I can just go plonk a unit in there and then let these guys come and attack it and try and knock it out, and then come over, and if there's no clear hexes, attack. If I get lucky, I can push them out, and then I'm back in again. And so this 15 points has gone backwards and forwards. And now I'm thinking last night I may have actually given the army fatigue points to the Russians twice. Oops. So I'll have to go back and do the math on that and work out what's going on there. Still haven't brought the Guard into the game. Too early yet. We need to let the 3rd Division do its work here. They're not in terrible shape. That guy's a 9 to a 7. They're in full strength. 9 to a 7, 5. I think he's a 3. Yeah, 3. Yeah, so, you know, this preemptive attack over here by the Russians really fouled things up, because I wanted to move these guys over and support the southern flank of the town, kind of press in, although that would have been dangerous because there's this central artillery division just sitting here, and they're all heavy artillery too, so they would have mashed up those troops pretty badly if they moved forward. Right now, they're really not able to fire very much at all. They can fire into the town, that's about it. Anyway, that's a quick update. So 11 a.m. turn, we're starting. We'll see what happens. I said it's snow. There's no reinforcements this turn, I don't believe. And I don't think there's any more coming for either side until 1 p.m. There'll be some Russians. And either 2 or 4 p.m. or maybe both. There's units coming from the northern end of the map, all the way up there where the bowl is. There'll be units coming on the board for both sides up there, I believe. So, all right, that's the situation. I'll give you a quick little scan of the map here. I don't know if you're super interested. I'll go relatively slowly. You can see we're just fighting over this little, I won't call it a valley, it's more of a depression. I don't know what the height differentials are. Be interesting to have a look at that. All right, there you go. Talk to you guys soon. Still enjoying this. It's interesting about expectations and how that shapes your thinking and experience with the game. And we're going to talk about expectations a little bit later on this week. All right, catch you soon.